Hey Villa fam, you're back with two village girls for another eventful week of honest conversations. Today we're here to tell you about potty training.
Yay!
We just want to start off by saying that potty training is not based off of age. I know people rush into potty training. They wanna potty train their child at maybe one, maybe two. They like, oh, if my child not using the bathroom by this age, then he's behind. But potty training is based on the child's physical, the child's developmental,
Mm-hmm.
and its behavioral milestones, not its age. But children do show signs of potty training between the ages of 18 and 24 months. And then,
Absolutely.
however, like we say, some kids might, you know, learn a little later, so it might happen around 3 years old or 4 years old.
Absolutely. I currently work in a pre-K setting, and I have children that are 4 and 5 that are still transitioning out of
Mm-hmm.
pull-ups.
Yeah.
It's a growing process. It's wherever they are developmentally.
As if the child is ready, honestly. Like you
Yeah.
can't, it's like you really cannot make the child use the bathroom if he or she isn't ready to use the bathroom.
And we're not talking ready like, oh, the child says, "Mom, I don't feel like it today."
Mm-hmm.
Like not that kind of ready. Like,
Yeah, more of a ready, like developmental wise, like we was talking about. And these is going to be some questions you can ask yourself to see if your child is ready. First thing you can ask yourself is if your child is able to walk and be able to sit on a toilet. If your child isn't walking and isn't able to physically sit down on a toilet, then they aren't ready to use the bathroom.
yep. Can your child pull down his or her pants and pull them up back up again?
Yeah, it's like the process of putting on clothes is frustrating in itself to children.
Mm-hmm.
So if they aren't ready to, if they aren't able to like already be able to put their clothes on and take them off on their own, then they aren't ready.
Yeah. Can your child stay dry for up to 2 hours? If your child is still using the bathroom pretty consistently, pretty frequently in their pamper, maybe they aren't ready to start making scheduled bathroom breaks
Yeah.
on their own because their body isn't used to holding their bladder, holding their bowels. They're just not adequately prepared to start self-regulating.
Yeah, and that's more of that like physical, like
Mm-hmm.
being able to physically do stuff. And the next thing is your child able to understand and follow the basic directions, such as like such as go to the bathroom or like
Can you pull your pants down? Can you
yeah,
sit on the toilet? Can you sit on the potty?
hmm like if your child isn't able to follow these basic directions, then maybe it's just not time for potty training just yet. When
Yeah.
when they're able to like when they're able to understand and basically follow directions, then they might be able to be able to potty train even better.
Yep, because then your child will be on the same page as you. If your child's not understanding you, then they're not going to be able to move forward with you.
Yeah, basically.
Can your child communicate when he or she needs to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's a good one too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
is your child able to say, "Mommy, I need to go potty"?
We can play a big guessing game for years
Yeah.
once we feel like they're ready, but once they're able to start telling us they're ready, that's when it'll be a much smoother transition.
hmm
Yeah.
And also, this last big one is: does your child seem interested in using the toilet or wearing big kid underwear? And then this is just saying, like, is your kid interested? Is your kid interested in even learning to use the bathroom? Is your kid even ready to want to use big girl or big boy underwear?
And this is ready, like, this is showing interest in ways like when you go to the bathroom, they're just like, they want to start flushing the toilet for you.
hmm
They see you pulling up their underwear, and then when they try and get their diaper changed, they start trying to pull down their diaper for you when you're
hmm
changing them. Those kind of interests. They start doing these same actions that they see you doing for them and want to do it for themselves.
Yeah. And also, I know we talked about making sure the kid is ready, but you as a parent have to be ready too,
Of course.
because potty training is like a long and difficult process. Sometimes it can be
Mm-hmm.
depending on the child itself. but you have to also be ready to you have to have the time to potty train your child. Do you have time to sit with your child during those 2 hour intervals on the toilet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the time to be consistent, keep that consistent schedule we was talking about?
Absolutely.
I feel like being consistent is major when you potty training, because if you aren't consistent, they aren't really going to learn. And kids learn through keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. So
Mm-hmm. That's definitely important because the minute that their schedule switches or their routine changes, it throws them off. And now it's like, I can just go back to going whenever I want because this has changed. Now it's like, okay, when can I go? Can I go now? I'm going to go now because I don't know what's happening anymore.
hmm and like in a childcare setting, because most of the time we are in a childcare setting working
Mm-hmm.
with kids. We do like we make sure we do toilet time based on the kids. Sometimes you
Absolutely.
can talk more about that because you work in a center before.
So in a center, we typically have scheduled potty breaks and bathroom breaks. But we also know each of our children
hmm
as they come into our classroom, and we hear from the families that they've started potty training, they're transitioning out of pull-ups, they're transitioning into pull-ups
Yeah.
from diapers. So that gives us an idea of, hey, this child needs to go more frequently than once in the morning, once before nap,
Yeah.
once after nap, that kind of thing. They need a more frequent schedule. So maybe once in the morning, once after breakfast, like just adding different bathroom breaks for certain children that need
Yeah.
it.
That need it. Mm-hmm.
And we also do constant reminders of, hey, we're transitioning from this to this. Now's a good time to come to the bathroom. Let's go try.
Mm-hmm.
And we use different reinforcements if necessary. Sometimes we offer stickers for first time potty users to
Okay.
get them excited to go to the bathroom and
Mm-hmm.
get excited to sit on the toilet even if they don't go. We encourage that too, even just sitting and trying to use the bathroom in a
Mm-hmm.
center, because then it's like they get used to sitting for themselves and get used to, hey, this is that time for me to try, this is that time for me to make progress with my potty training
Mm-hmm.
and learn how to do those basic things we talked about, pulling their pants up, pulling their
Yeah.
pull-ups and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is a good time to go into things we can do when your child is ready to learn
Mm-hmm.
or is ready to potty train. The first thing you can do is basically just choose your words wisely. This is a very long process, so we have to be patient. We have to be positive. We have to just use words that's going to encourage and motivate children to use the bathroom instead
Mm-hmm.
of being harsh and saying and just being negative about the situation. Making sure to use positive words to explain the things that come out of your system, using positive words to explain poop and pee, or
Mm-hmm.
using positive words to describe the toilet as well.
It's also important. One thing we notice is that, like, children, when they're potty training, this is a time where you'll notice, like, the kids that, like, parents, like, sometimes when they're changing diapers, it's funny, like, we get the kids to laugh usually by, like, hey, ew, you got a stinky butt.
Okay,
Ew,
okay,
your butt's
yeah.
stinky. Ew,
Mhm,
this is dirty.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
in potty training, this is one of those things that can cause trouble with potty training,
mhm,
because now we're sitting here trying to tell them, like, hey, it's okay to use the potty, it's okay to have, like, stinky poops, and
yeah,
it's okay, like, this is normal.
mhm,
So kind of like reinforcing that, like, this is normal, like, you're
yeah.
doing
So
a good
don't be
job.
afraid to. It's like not not to be afraid or like
Uncomfortable.
not yeah be uncomfortable using the bathroom.
So in choosing your words right, this is a time for you to help your child process through. If you're the type of parent or guardian that likes to laugh with your child and makes these small, like, oh, you got a stinky butt when you're changing their diaper, this is the time where we need to transition out those stinky words,
Mm-hmm.
those
Negative
yucky words,
words.
the
Yeah.
negative words.
Mm-hmm.
Because while it's cute and funny and it gets the baby to laugh when they're younger, it also can be seen in some children where they become a little more, like, timid
Yeah,
with potty
it can
training.
discourage them from using the bathroom in
Yeah,
the future.
because they don't want to be stinky
Yeah.
and they don't want like people to laugh at them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those like negative words we try and like phase out and let them know like it's okay, like we all use the bathroom. So having those positive words or phasing out those negative words that we use at a younger age with them, that's important too with potty training.
Yeah, and also like during potty training, like at the beginning, you want to like explain, good hygiene, especially like to girls. You want to make sure you like let girls know how making sure to wipe front and back to avoid, the germs and bacteria from going to your rectum to your vagina. Also, just making sure that they're washing their hands appropriately after using the bathroom as well.
At the first stages, or even towards the end, as you transition from diapers to pull-ups and pull-ups to underwear, accidents will happen. So it's important to stay calm around your child and be prepared, having those backup clothes and backup pull-ups and diapers if needed when transitioning. And just reminding them that it's okay, not shaming them or yelling at them if they do have an accident.
Yeah, I'm also giving them praise. Like even if they do go to the potty and don't pee or poop in a potty, still give them praise for trying, because it encourage them and motivate them to keep doing it. Even like mommy praised me for not even pottying, but I'm gonna continue because every time I'm gonna get praise. So.
Yeah, especially if the child has an accident as they like get to the toilet, that can be extremely frustrating for the child because they're so close and they understand they're so close and they tried their best. So reminding them like it's okay, like great job, you tried, you knew you had to go and you went to the bathroom. It can help encourage them to like keep going forward and not be embarrassed. It's embarrassing as a young child to feel that discomfort of having a wet pants or having poop in your pants.
My niece was she get wet pamper. I mean white diaper. She'll just take it off. She'll just throw it on the floor and just walk around like it.
Exactly.
She don't want
it's
it on no more.
The older they get, it becomes more and more uncomfortable because now that they've learned what it's like to not have to feel that, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't remember this being this weird. Like now it's a completely foreign thing to me.
Yeah. Getting prepared, having like a potty chair in the bathroom or a potty chair, in the room where the child is mostly at, because you're gonna have to have the child sit on the toilet for different amount of times throughout the day. So it's best to have the potty where the child is comfortable.
Absolutely. Especially when they're first starting out too.
Yeah. And some as they get older, some parents might start to use the little potty lid that you just sit on an actual toilet and have the child use the actual toilet too. I think another thing that's important, because we always talk about being consistent. So I guess we just like consistency is just important during potty training because it gives the child a routine.
It's not like you do it once, good job, and that's it. It keeps them like reminded that hey, this is something that we're gonna keep doing. This is something that we want to do. This is a good thing.
Yeah, and it's daily. So sometimes parents might potty train or try to attempt to, and they might not have the time all the time. So sometimes it might be one day they might potty train and be full on with it, but the next day it might be a busy day for the parent and they aren't able to have that consistency, and that's not really gonna be that the child isn't going to be successful if that ever happens. So consistency is very important. So like that means like scheduling potty breaks during the morning, like when they first wake up, make them sit on the toilet. Like after naps too, after they wake up from nap, have them sit on the toilet. I even sometimes with the child that I teach, I let him before we go outside. I tell him to use the bathroom before we go outside, so we have no accidents outside.
Yeah.
Also, before you go to bed at night, just so we can try for the child to stay dry throughout the night.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if as long as it's working for them, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Inconsistency doesn't necessarily mean your child won't be able to use the bathroom by themselves. It just typically with inconsistency, it takes a little longer than if there is a consistent schedule, because it's almost like training and retraining. If there's inconsistency, it's getting on the routine and readjusting the routine. So it's a push and pull. So having that consistency will generally help speed up the process and keep the child on track for a smoother transition as they learn to potty train. But if you get to a point where your child is resisting or doesn't seem to be making progress with potty training, then there's no problem with taking a break and reassessing, going back to those questions we started with at the beginning, and seeing if maybe we need to try a few weeks later, maybe a few months later, give your child more time to
just get ready to
potty
train,
to find that interest or those abilities that we were looking for, those gross motor skills that we wanted to see, to help them transition into potty training. So yeah, potty training is not for the weak. So pat yourself on the back, parents. You've made it to the next milestone of your child's early childhood. Proud of you.
Yeah, we're so proud of you guys. I know parenting is hard. I hear parents say it a lot, and I know potty training is hard, especially because when I watch my nieces, as they get older, it's like watching them. It's like different humans. Like some of my nieces can use the bathroom early, and some of them took to like 5-6 years old to use the bathroom. So it's like it's really interesting to like observe and really see the difference in developmental milestones, because we all hit them at different ages.
Thanks, Will Fam, for tuning in again to another episode with Two Village Girls. Join us every Wednesday for new episodes. If you guys want to learn more information about milestones, check out our blog page where we will be posting every Wednesday. Please follow us on all our social media, which will be listed in the description box below. As always, we want to send you out with some positive vibes to get you through the rest of your week. This week's inspirational quote is by Dee Dee and Dooley, who say, "Potty training is a developmental process, not a race." Thanks, Villa fam. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.